Hello and welcome, I'm LeatherMushroom, your hostess with the mostest, and today we're taking a look at the wonderful Shrine 2, brought to us by Scumhead, Mengas, and obviously Primeval doing that lovely work on the soundtrack. Now, I'm thinking of changing the format of these videos from LeatherMushroom reviews to LeatherMushroom talks shit about some games and maybe stuff, I don't know. Let me know in the comments what kind of format you think will fit. I like how they've gone with the very sort of, you know, starting off in a prison cell. I don't know why, I really like games where you start off in a prison cell. Maybe that says something about me, who knows. But there's our bone blade, straight off the bat. And with this wonderful piece where you can cut through locks and cut through enemies exactly the same alike. Very versatile, and it's a good melee weapon. But now we get our first little bit of boom boom pow. Wonderful for clearing out just anything really. It works absolutely fine. You can throw it and it detonates on impact, or you can throw it and it's got a timer to it. Myself, I haven't found much of a reason for the timer yet, but we'll see as we go on. Health comes in small vials as well. So no, we are not doing a goth culture quote just yet. I say yet. Now, notice these stinky asshole enemies with their little green clouds. When you explode them, they produce these little critters. And they're absolutely horrible. They take down your health quite a bit, and they're generally fucking annoying. And this is how you do it. You get out that wonderful ice mana. See that? Boom. Into little bite-sized enemy chunks. Just how Mama taught you. Ice mana is invaluable. It works great with these guys too, because if you don't kill them like this first, they will come back just with no heads. Next weapon is your pretty much, you know, your standard stock thing for a machine gun. And it fires little bugs that, as you can see, creep to the side of the gun for the animation, which is really beautiful. I love it. But hell, let's see this absolute bad boy in use on the enemy that I like to call the Chucklefuck. Now, ice mana is also extremely good for platforming across water segments. As anybody knows me, I absolutely fucking hate platforming. And let's be honest, platforming doesn't matter whether it's in the Doom engine or the build engine. It's shit. I hate it. Sound design in here is beautiful. The lighting is wonderful. The reverb's really great. Now onto these wankers. Now, this isn't too bad. You've got enough of an open area, but in enclosed spaces they're horrible and they do actively chase you. It's worth it to hear them make that horrible noise. Now, going into the sewers, I mean, come on, what FPS would it be without a sewer level? You know, you need one. Just listen to that shotgun. Then you can fire all barrels or just revolve it on single fire, and it sounds absolutely wonderful. These guys are your Cacodemon sort of replacement, and they look really nice. The enemy design in this Doom mod is wonderful. You know, like from this level alone, you're getting very sort of Bloodborne Eldritch horror, which is exactly what you want and what it's marketed as, and it ticks every box. It completes what it sets out to do. It's a great journey. And as you can see, where you have to freeze enemies, it really makes you rotate your weapon inventory. You can't just stick to one. Also, who doesn't like shooting everything in a fucking library? We all do. It's wonderful. I mean, what's better? There's your standard chain gunner getting flattened. Ain't nobody got time. In this, they aren't hit scanners. They're not. They are an enemy with fast projectiles that moves. You know, which is, in my mind, preferable to hit scanner. I know everybody moans about them, but there is a place for hit scanners. There is. You know, hit scanners, in my mind, are there to keep you moving. Which in this game is something that, believe me, I learned you have to do a lot in the bigger areas. My favourite little chuckle fuck. If I ever have kids, That's going to be their name. My little chucklefuck. It's kind of like My Little Pony, but weirder. And anyway, off that irrelevant subject, let's go into another bit of this library and blow up more of these absolute wankers. Now, I'm loving the not dark but grey and blue hue to the gloom. I think it's wonderful. You know, the colours and the lighting add their own atmosphere, which is exactly what I find colour and lighting's meant to do. Now these are weird little flying fuckers. They make these weird little laughing noises. You can't freeze them. And frankly, they're just a bit annoying. And when you finally get to knocking them out the sky, all they do is just, you know, land on the floor and chase you. Like this. With a little sack, like some weird little thing with a sack on them. And I think it's great. Once again, the enemy design is flawless. You really can't beat it. Just that sound there. The clock's ticking and the gear's going. And oh, would you look at this? Another winged bastard. Now, what I've noticed from when you start, they start off in bigger environments. The more of them you encounter, it's like each time the environment gets smaller. You know, but this game isn't short of its room full of bastards, as I like to call it. It's got plenty of those. It's got plenty of them. So once again, forcing you to, you know, if you run right into that room, you cannot what you would do, what you'd normally do in Doom and just circle strafe while shooting. You just can't. You have to be a bit more thinky about it. It's just, you know, how it works. Also, look at the death animation on these guys. It's almost like they fold back over, like eating themselves into oblivion. And I'm totally here for it. Now, as we were talking earlier about platforming, some people are good at it and like it. Me, personally, I'm not good at platformers. I absolutely hate them, and I think they should get platforming out of my FPS. But I'm just old and don't like things, and I can't have everything. But yes, I'm terrible at platforming, and I die. Over. And over. And, wait for it, over. I can't stop it. I'm terrible. This section took me a good, solid, you know, quarter of an hour just because my platforming's terrible. But hey, in the end we got there, and I'm sure you will all too. We managed to, you know, make it through this conveyor belt clockwork platforming hell. Which, frankly, I'm glad there's only been one of so far. But, you know, once you get that it's fairly plain sailing now. This, or the sound here, is just beautiful. Listen to it. This boss fight. And you come in, you got your 6 big teeth wankers, is what I'm going to call them. I think that sounds good. Let me know down below in the comments if big teeth wankers fits for you. If it does, I'm just going to start renaming all bosses and all weapons in game with my own names. You know, no disrespect to the developers, but I think big smiley wankers and chuckle fucks is obviously the way to go. Now, one thing I didn't like was with this heart, you had no idea if you were doing damage to it or not. So for a little bit, I was thinking, is that definitely the part I have to destroy? But you know, it's a very, what's the word? There's a word for this. Hold on. Here no. There's a fucking dictionary. But I digress. It's with the faces and the teeth and everything, it really adds a nice element to it and the depth to the horror. And this was actually quite an easy fight. Now, you can play this game on pretty much ultra violence and still get through it with a solid challenge. For the purpose of this, I haven't, simply because I wanted to get enough footage in 2 hours and not take all day. But consider that heart's ass blown into oblivion. And I really enjoyed this. The bass in the soundtrack for it was a really good drive during the fight. It was fantastic. Now you can get these pickups after boss fights, which permanently increase your health by another 10 points, which I absolutely fucking love. And yeah, I'd say Clockwork Cathedral is definitely in the first chapter is my favourite. It really is. You know, look at our boy there, Tusk. Now, Astral Forest. I'm not going to tease you much about it, but Astral Forest is really, really cool. So, if any of you out there are interested in this, or maybe you played the first one and weren't too keen on it, I'd seriously just go and play Shrine 2. You know, you get plenty of lovely little enemy design what the fuck moments, and I'm sure it will tick all of those boxes for you. Now, it's available on Steam, or you can just get it on ModDB. I'll provide links for both. And yeah, leave any comments and any feedback in the section below. It helps me, and it helps, you know, well, you, obviously, you dumbasses. But yeah, thank you very much. I've been LeatherMushroom. This has been Shrine 2, and I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. I'm going to go and look beautiful and do absolutely fuck all. A wonderful time. Goodbye.